Last year I sat in front of my plants and talked about them like a little girl, and this year I'm back for an update, and I'm also going to show you all the new seeds I'm growing and my plans for this year. And I think you'll be surprised at how fast some of these plants have grown in just 1 year. So let's take a look. First plant we'll talk about today is the Nepenthes. It's Mimi's Kiss. So this thing is crazy with growth. And the thing is, I have not up-potted it. Here, I'll show you the pot. And I just flood it with water in here. It just sits there. And what's crazy about this plant is it's actually flowered. And I have no idea what to do with this. But this is kind of the growth of it. I mean, last year we maybe had like, I don't know, 4 or 5 pitchers. And now it's just, I don't know, 10 or so. Some of them kind of cycle and die. I'm trying to get that cricket to jump into the pitcher. That's the whole point of having this plant, is pest control and to look cool for my son. It actually worked. The next plant is the cherry of the Rio Grande. You know, I did grow a lot of Eugenias last year, and they are now outside. This is what they look like now. They are growing very well. They're in tree pots, and I'm waiting for them to fill out, and then I'll get them into 5 gallons. I do have some extras, so I'll probably sell them, or I don't know, maybe I'll grow them out, we'll see. Jaboticabas didn't grow too much more. I brought them outside as a last-ditch effort to try to revive them, but they're basically dead. I haven't started any more Jaboticaba. I do have a Grimmel tree that's about 5 years old in a 5-gallon pot. So I'm just gonna roll with that one, see what happens with it. And hopefully it'll fruit, you know, in a year or two. So one of the more impressive things that I grew last year was this Suriname cherry. And this has been completely grown indoors in a 1-gallon pot. And it just goes through a lot of water. It's hard to keep hydrated. I did talk about trying to flower it indoors, and that's gonna be the plan. So I'm just gonna leave it inside and see if I can get it to flower and fruit. There are some more Suriname cherries that I did grow, and these are all the Zills dark Suriname cherry seeds or seedlings, but those are outside. They look like this. You know, I probably have like 8 of them. They've done really well, but the indoor one is doing better. Possibly I'll use those for rootstock. I haven't looked too much into any unique varieties of Suriname cherries. I have tried a couple, but they taste like sour and diesely, so not something that really impressed me, and that's the reason why I didn't look into it very much. But I know that there's some good ones out there, so maybe once this flowers, it'll get me more interested, and then I'll graft onto the other ones. Of all the miracle berries that I got from Darcy, only one of them has survived, and it's outside and it's doing really bad. I think maybe it was a lack of watering in some period. I'm not sure what happened that caused them to die, but I'm out of miracle berries. So I might have to get some more started. We'll have to see. I'm less interested in them now after I had the fruit. You know, it is a interesting phenomenon to go from sour to sweet, but it's not really a complex type of difference in flavor, but it is fun. So I probably will get another. Okay, next up is probably the most impressive thing I've ever grown from seed is this Brazilian milk fruit. It's also in a 1-gallon. Let's see. It's hard to get this all in frame, but this thing is humongous. And it has flowered. Maybe about under a year it flowered. I have 2 or 3 more that are outside that weren't doing as well. They kind of rooted out of their pots, so I had to root prune them and put them in a lot of shock. And these are also very hard to keep hydrated because they're very thirsty plants. But here's I don't think there's any flowers on here, but there are flower buds. So these are the flower buds. But yeah, it's really impressive growth. I haven't grown anything this crazy and this fast, especially from seed. None of the flowers actually bore fruit, so we'll have to wait. Maybe this next batch will. This is really a testament to the mineral-based soils. You know, this is grown basically in 50% pumice and then 25% sand, a little bit of peat moss, but mostly minerals. And we need the minerals for the aeration. And we ideally want to have 0 organic matter because we don't want the fungus gnats to come in. So please don't grow indoors in organic soils. I'm even thinking about eliminating the peat moss from my indoor soils because I am getting fungus gnats, mostly from an experiment I'm doing with avocados, but I have some Miracle Grow, which is not really working out. But you definitely need to grow in a mineral-based soil, especially inside. I was growing 2 Garcinias last year at Achachairu Selecto, or they call it Achachairu Selecto. Basically, those all survived. They're all outside. So I got 100 seeds going on that. And I have some Russel sweet seedlings that didn't do so well. They're basically on life support. You know, they look dead. Russel sweet is a very important plant for me. It's a very unique story about how the plant came from Australia and basically sat in a yard for many years until a man named Mark was able to go get some fruit and kind of spread the seeds and propagate it and get it spread around. Otherwise, we probably never would have heard of it. That's one of the trees I really was chasing after and really got me into collecting more rare stuff. You know, that along with Luke's Garcinia, which I have a ton of. But to make up for it, I'm growing some Imbe seeds that I got from the goat Bobby. Plan to use these as rootstock and then find some scions of the actual Russel sweet and graft them onto it. Or I might even do it with Luke's. My Luke's are getting big, so I might have to look into grafting on a fruiting variety onto that as well. That's an update on the old stuff that I was growing. Here's some of the newer things that I'm growing now. This is an Alva seedling. It's a star apple, or also breast milk fruit. It is a milky type of fruit. It also goes by Kaimito, I believe. You know, most of the ones I've had are not very good, but Alva is known to be a particularly good one. And this is a seedling. This is a seed of a seedling of Alva that I got from Raul. And last year I had some growing and they all died over the winter. So I'm keeping these in and I'll bring them out next season and see how they do. And I might have to keep doing that until it puts on some size. I have some Chempadek or Chempadek seedlings, like a Chempadek and jackfruit hybrid or something, I don't know. But they're cool. I like to grow anything from the Morrissey family. And I do love jackfruit, but maybe there'll be enough time and heat for the fruit to actually mature and be edible. Since I was so successful with the Suriname cherry and the Brazilian milk fruit, I'm now growing avocado indoors as a houseplant. This one's in a tree pot. This is a Charwil seedling. If you don't know about the history of Charwil, a lot of people call it Kona Charwil, but there's two guys, Mr. Sharp and Mr. Wilson from Australia. They're the ones credited with growing this. My goal is to fruit this avocado indoors. I have no idea if it'll work, probably not, but once that happens, I'm gonna name this variety Charwilly, because it's Mr. Sharp, Mr. Wilson, now Mr. Lee. I have another Charwil seedling on the side, and I'm gonna try growing both of them. It seems like it'll soon be time to up-pot that too. It's getting pretty big, but it's pretty fun to grow indoors. I haven't really done much with them but water them. Okay, next I have some Big Macs, not the Big Macs like from McDonald's, but Big Macs like Maximum. My son likes to grow pumpkins, and these are more of the bigger size ones. You know, he doesn't eat them, we just like to grow them and flex with them and stuff, send it to his grandma. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grow a couple of these out, and then one of these I'm planning to put in a pot and then grow it into my neighbor's yard, like sneakily. And then just one day he's gonna be surprised with like a 50-pound pumpkin. That's the plan. I don't know if it'll work out. He does have a kind of this little fence type of thing, so I need to find space to sneak it through. I have a ficus for a bonsai project. This one I bare rooted and it looks like it's coming back. I haven't grown many ficus. I guess figs are kind of like ficus, but nothing like this, but it's pretty cool. I don't know if I can root this little piece, if that's, because I do need to root a couple to start this project. I always tend to have some kind of Garcinia growing, and I have, I don't know, maybe 30 or 40 of these improved Lemondrop mangosteens. These have been easier to grow than the Achachairu. I mean, they're all kind of easy except for Russel Sweet so far. Whenever I transplant these, they don't die. So they just, you know, they transplant pretty easy. What I've been experimenting the most with is actually growing durian, and they're all failures so far. I haven't gotten any leaves yet. You know, a lot of them end up looking like this. And I'm not really exactly sure, maybe it's from the transplanting. I'm still working on it, I'm still experimenting. I do have other seeds going in, like here's an example. This is now how I start all my tree seeds. It's vermiculite, just damp vermiculite in a Ziploc bag. A lot of durian seeds like this going. Here's as close as I come to actual leaves. You know, tiny little sprout right there. I've gotten to a point where I can get them to not rot in the bag. So I think one hurdle is done. I think the next step will be a better way to transition from the seed into a pot. And I also need to kind of work on the soil that it's going into. I think it is a top pot-like recipe, but I think I'm going to eliminate the peat moss completely and just do 100% minerals. I have some Yangmei here. You can't really see anything. It's just seeds that have not sprouted. Avocado right here. The seed starting method I'm using is just a damp vermiculite. I find that I'm not getting mold like this. You know, I used to do the paper towel, wet, moist paper towel, and I always get mold. Not necessarily in the seed, but always on the paper towel itself, I'll get some mold. So I'm done with that. Another thing I'm planning on growing this year is tobacco. Pretty straightforward. Make some herbal tea. Actually, I plan to just smoke it. That basically wraps it up. We'll check back in next year to see what kind of more growth we've had. Hopefully a couple more things will be flowering then. Expect the avocado tree to be much bigger. I am gonna get it into a 5-gallon at some point this year. And we'll check back in next year. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and make sure you sign up for the newsletter too. It's something new I started. Thanks.